our newest update to multiband gate. So here we go. We had some problems on the last one. I sent it to Dave. We'll see. He said he fixed them. Let's try it out. So go to the kick, solo the kick. Gate on there. Okay, so what were the problems? One of them was on the transient shaper. Wasn't able to change the there we go. Okay, that's working now. Okay, so this we'll get to that in a second. Let me see if the other parts are fixed. Threshold numbers are static. Turning the knob doesn't change them. Okay, let me see about that. That's working now. Now notice it's not changing the threshold. I think. Oh wait a second. Let me get out of keychain listen. Okay, now that's working. Okay, now the other thing was oh, that's working too. All right. Okay. Awesome. And you can still choose between the key for the detector or the individual band. Oh, I forgot to turn looping on. Okay, let me turn that on. Here we go. Okay, then the other thing was when I had this in unlocked mode, go to the highs for this. Excuse me. The way it was drawing out was drawing correct on here and wrong on here, I think. Let's see. So I'm going to unlock it. I'm going to jump by 4 decibels. That's interesting. No, it's drawing correct on both of them. Okay, so that's fixed now. Okay, so now I'm going to do the Jason Zadora trick. Is that how you say your name, Jason? I don't know. So I'm going to go to the key detector, okay? And like, remember I always tell you, it's really hard to key off of a low frequency like this. It's just not sharp enough. So if I were to take the filters for what we're listening to, and I'm gonna, I don't mind if it's gonna flute out, right? Get the high pass probably doesn't matter, but I'll crank it up there anyway. So we're just looking at this peak. That's the part where the kick drum sure has everything more than anything else does. But I'll tell you, it's gonna be blobby. Let's look at the detector. You know, it's just kind of blobby looking. Let me separate these out. Okay, and I look back at the key. Now, one thing that we can do to make this kind of a little bit unblobbier, turn on this transient shaper, just crank the attack, and drop the release, or sustain. Now that, watch the difference in the waveforms when I turn this on and off. Okay. Now, it's still, you're going to need a lot to look at on if you're keying off the low end, and I mean a lot. Okay, so let's get back into the detector window. Look how sharp those peaks are. Okay, so let's, now that we got this, okay. So remember the snare was being a little bit tricky on the last video. Let's, I'm not done with this kick yet, but actually let's just spice it up a little bit. That's pretty much how I want it. Actually, that was a little bit gross, that last 2 hits right there. So let's look at that a little bit better. What's going on there? Let's just bypass this and see what it sounds like. Okay, so there's the snare kind of flamming on the same time. Might be able to do something better on the high end. Let's listen. Maybe not. I'll make that a little bit shorter, though. This really doesn't need to be long. It just needs a little bit of slap from the beater. And I think we measured that out to be about 40 milliseconds. And now we can change this shape. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit longer. I'm going to make this shape. There we go. Still not great with the other stuff chattering in, but I'm going to throw Alex's exciter in here. Good enough. Now let's see about this snare. That was a little bit of trouble because I couldn't get the transient shaper working, but now I can. So I'll throw exciter on here just because we'll probably want it later. So here's on the snare track. So let's look at the key. So the higher peak you can get where nothing else is messing with it, the better. This peak right here, it's in the there's like 200, 300 range. You know, it'd be nice to have the frequency read as your mouse is going. I don't know if there's really a point to it, so I don't know if I'm going to ask for that, but I could. I'm going to let this come through, this low, but this is the peak that I really want, this one up here, because it's faster than the one below it. Okay, now here comes the transient shaper again. Look how spiky that is now. I'm going to take out the sustain. So now, let me get the spectrum where I want it to. And again, I might just mute this mid band, but not really planning on it right now. And see, because of the frequencies I picked, maybe a Tom's gonna open this. Okay, so let's make sure we got this long enough. So make this a little bit longer. It's not gonna hurt. And if it sounds funny to you, crank the hold for a while. Then you can find out who's giving you the problems. So you see this one is getting to these kicks right here. So this is where you always ask, wait, which do I use, the hold or the release, right? So here's a good clue. I can make the hold as long as the snare. And then, so I'm going to set the release to 0 for now. It's not going to stay there. And I'm going to shorten the hold till it doesn't get the next kick. Now that's an unnatural decay, you could say, but I'm gonna make this a little bit longer. We give it like 50 milliseconds out. Now on the low band, getting a lot of kick. I don't know that it matters, but let's again tear the release all the way down. There's all different ways to do this. Don't think I'm telling you this is some rule you have to absolutely follow. Look ahead up. Okay, now let's get these high. I could shut this a lot earlier. So I'm going to unlock the highs. Change that shape. Pretty happy with that. Haven't even touched the mix yet, right? So let me mute everything else. Hey, Dino Home Studio. For some reason, I'm getting the wrong aspect ratio on Instagram, sadly. So. Yeah, it's really meant to be showing some alpha, some changes we're making in multi-band gate right now. adding. I don't know if you can see it because the Instagram's aspect ratio thing's messed up badly. Let's see. Let me just line it up for you. But now where there's shape controls for the attack and the release, not just the time, but now there's actual shapes, and I'll show you that. So, to change how the release and attack shapes are made. A little bit more getting rid of spittiness and stuff. And you can now do per band threshold by unlocking. So in this case, the highs are unlocked from the lows and the mids, the threshold. And you can choose between the key or the band detector. So this isn't the graphical user interface it's going to have. This is just a temporary placeholder. So if you're already a multi-band gate user, this is a free update. So, I had done a video earlier today. I had a little bit of trouble and told Dave about it. And while I was out at the jumps riding my bike, he sent an update. So here I am back at work and testing it out. So I think this is pretty good. Let me make sure the side chain's working because I didn't do that. So I'm going to pick the snare bottom, and I'm gonna have it side chain from the snare top. How about that? That'll be the key source anyway. So let me do that in Reaper. Yeah, it sucks. You can't see it in Instagram right now because I don't know why the aspect ratios changed. I did change my video properties. Maybe that did it. But I'm going to route the snare top to the snare bottom. And I'm going to do that pre-fader post effects. And I'm going to tell it to go to 2 new channels on the receiving track, which is the snare bottom. I'm going to change that to 3 and 4. So now the snare bottom track's going to have 4 track channels instead of 2, and I'm going to make sure the 3 and 4 are going into the side chain, and that should be it. So if I solo this guy, and then I tell it to listen to the I tell side chain, and I'm going to tell it to listen to the side chain. It shouldn't be the we shouldn't hear the snare bottom sound. We should only hear the snare top sound. So let's check and make sure that's right. So this is the track. Here's the I have multi-band gate bypassed. This is the snare bottom. So I'm going to turn it back on. We're going to listen to the side chain. Side chain is the snare top. Oops. Okay, hold on. I got to fix something. 1 second. Sorry, I messed up. Okay, so here's the snare bottom. So if I bypass multi-band gate, we're just hearing the bottom snare mic. But we're listening to the side chain right here, which is the top snare mic. So I got it side chained in here. And I can further transient shape the side chain. So check this out. So I'm going to make it even snappier and thinner. Okay. I don't need to do any filtering of the detector, I don't think. So let's get this back onto the detector. I'm going to look in the, how do I want this set? I'm really probably just going to mute anything down here. I doubt that I'm really going to have snare cymbal trebles. I'm going to have bass trebles, kick drum trebles, but I could just mute this band. I don't know that I even need to use the multi-band part of this gate, but let's look at the detector. So this is what's coming in. I'm surprised there's actually this kick. So let me see. Let me make sure. These should be identical. Might be some lag between them. Okay. So if I didn't have the side chain, I mean, gonna be pretty close anyways, but it may be that the side chain's showing the wrong, actually, wait, side chain's gonna be seeing. Yeah, see, that's interesting to think about. What should the detector window show when the side chain's on? Should it show the original track? I don't know, maybe. Anyway. So here we go. If I threw Alex's exciter on here, I'd get this crazy snappy hash, which actually might be really cool. Musictron, are you a current multiband gate user? If you're on Windows, I got a VST3 that if you're brave enough, you can just try it out now if you want. I make no guarantees. If it breaks on you, that's on you. Make sure you have your old version sitting there. You would just replace the VST3 with the one you got now. If not, let's see. Gavin has to put a GUI on it. I think it's gonna look way different than it does right now. But it could be pretty soon. I think Intuition's update is first, and then this might be the next thing out. There's a spectrogram thing Gavin's been working on, though, that might actually come out before these two. But let me know if you're on VST. I mean, if you're on Windows, I can send this now. Let me have a listen to this. I really want to hear what's going on, though. Just throw so this is gonna look ugly and crazy, but this also is kind of an alpha right now. Not Intuition, Iconic, sorry. Intuition should be the next one out. This version of Iconic, let's see. Okay, yeah, it's gonna look a lot different now, sorry. Let me throw the snare. I almost want to say the snare bottom. Let's throw the snare top on here for now. Just put Iconic. Okay. Yeah, see that there's missing knobs. Like this is working on some computers and not on others, so that's something we got to deal with right now. It's gonna be a little bit different. We're just gonna have 3 different envelopes for the lows, highs, and mids, and they're gonna use this. You can use this as a heat map. It's actual spectrum analyzer and stuff, but we're gonna have a separate plugin that's really gonna make this easier. Yeah, Musictron, let me know if you're on Mac and you're a current multiband gate user. As soon as I got a Mac version, I'll let you know. A new version of this out pretty quick here too. Sorry, got new of everything coming out. Tune this guy. this one is kind of pokey. It's 106 hertz, so I might should enable the dynamics for this one. Hold on. You're not that hardcore. Let me change threshold. With that. Anyhow, okay, so those are updates for good. I'm gonna let Dave know, and hopefully we're gonna get building these, and I'll see you guys